Ain't passing no judgment, so don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into your late talk show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more will we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the door. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your Green Talk Show with Coach Ricardo.
Hello, family. Welcome to your Lane Talk Show with your girl, Coach Trish Hannah. I miss y'all so much. Happy New Year to every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Sunday. For those listening for the first time, welcome. Your Lane Talk Show was created to educate, encourage, and empower women of all ages. I am excited for this lineup for this new year. I am so excited. Matters that are still taboo in today's society is, of course, what we'll be discussing. Matters that women need to talk about, like meow, is what we'll be discussing this entire year, God's willing. And guess what? We didn't come to play today. We want to come strong out the gate like one family. All right? That's how we come in. With the topic, you are going to get there. There represents your target or your goal. My question is, where is there for you? What is there? Is there a house? Is there a car? Is there writing a book? Where is there? Where is there? Is there getting more clients? Is there wanting to have a healthier lifestyle? Wanting a peaceful thought life? Because that's important. Child mental state is important. More members in your church or your group? Is there the desire to lose weight? No matter where there is, just know that you are going to get there. And I want you to know that I have someone that is just ripe. That's the word I want to use. Ripe and ready. Just ready to share and drop fruits and nuggets, seeds and nuggets into your hearing today that will help you get there. And I can't do this alone. That's why I had to bring him along with me, no other than Coach Ricardo Miller. But before we even introduce him, I want you to know that Your Lane episode 35, You Are Going to Get There, is brought to you by Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John's Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, and Family Medicine Center. You know, we couldn't continue the show without at least saying what my predictions of emotions would be today. And I think that the emotions are going to be 95% serious aha moments and 5% laughter. And it's low today because I'm really sure how comical Coach Ricardo is. I don't know if he's humorous or not. We don't know. But let's see. 0% teardrops. I don't think anyone's going to cry. And I don't think anyone's going to cry today unless they be like, man, I should have known this from 5 years ago. I should have known this information would he given me since last year. And then, of course, there'll be tears of joy because now you know it and it's not too late. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get it done, right? Your Lane can be viewed. Our talk shows can be viewed on Facebook, Your Lane Life Coaching Facebook page, Star 106 FM's Facebook page. You can listen to us on channel 976 on cable. You can also view the past shows on YouTube. Just look up Coach Trish Hannah, and you can watch from the very first show to last year's show. The very last show we did was about financial literacy. That is, listen, people still raving about that. And so thank you so much for those who've been tuning in, for those from the time I started to last year into this new year. Thank you. I'm inviting my audience to feel free to call in at any time throughout the show. The number to call is 328-8164. Now, I want to get out the way because I want to get back. This coach on and ready and rocking. But let me tell you something for those who are hearing and listening and tuning in for the first time. I want to say that this show has been a blessing. And in fact, I'm going to have persons to probably try to find persons to actually state their views about the show and how it's been a blessing, because throughout the months I've been getting a lot of persons that came over and say, hey, you're doing a good job. Hey, keep it up. Hey, this blessed me. Hey, I've been there too. Hey, that situation happened to me too. And we even had men. We have men tuning in, listening to the show, men who've been making comments on YouTube saying, okay, yes, this is good. And then, inquiring about a few things concerning what women were discussing on the show. We even had men who won prizes, okay, over the over the women who were supposed to be calling, but the men ended up reaching out first. And so I have to say thank you, excuse me, to our men as well, our male listeners. Thank you so much. My throat is dry. Excuse me. So without further ado, thank you, Tony. We're going to introduce Coach Ricardo Miller. He is the founder and CEO of Effective Living Life Management Agency. He specializes in life management coaching and personal development training. Coach Ricardo is a highly sought after international speaker. He coaches and guides professional individuals who have a serious passion and who are committed to improving their lives and ministry. For decades, Coach Ricardo has been equipping people of all ages. I love that. So we ain't coming with no little fly-by-night person today. As a social media influencer, he reaches thousands of people worldwide daily. His passion to train and develop those seeking to enhance their lives and the lives of the people they serve extends to his one-on-one and group coaching that is held weekly, which are his life management virtual classes and his annual Effective Living Life Management Retreat. Coach Ricardo is an author of 7 books, including his most recent bestseller, Effective Living. He is happily married and has 2 children. I am excited. Welcome, Coach Ricardo. How are you?
Coach Hannah, it is such a blessing to be on with your show, man. I've been watching you. I've been following your platform. I've known this platform now to have very, very exciting conversations. And a number of your guests, I know them. And that was sort of the hook that got me in. And so on Sunday evenings here in Texas, I'm watching. And so thank you to have me on.
Thank you so much. And yes, let me just say, if you don't mind me sharing, that time when you actually inboxed me on your lane message and you went, hey, you're doing an awesome job. Now I don't know if you them said whose head is get well, so I couldn't scream the way that I wanted to while I was walking out. I was just coming out of office and I was reading the message and I was like, because that's amazing. That's amazing. And it's very encouraging when you can have other coaches and other persons, especially those who are experienced, who've been exposed, who can say, hey, you're doing good. All right. Let me just put a little tap on your shoulder. You're doing well. Continue to go. And I appreciate that, because of course you do have other persons who believe that they have excelled, they have gotten there, and then they do what they have to do, and they reject, neglect, forget those who are trying to struggle, try to get their way up there. And so I want to thank you. Thank you so much for even encouraging me at that day. And thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm excited. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. I'm excited to hear what you have to say to us today. And I say us because I need my pen and paper, because I want to get all in this for 2023. So the topic, sir, is you are going to get there.
Yeah.
Woo. Because this could go so many ways. But I'm just gonna. What are your thoughts on this? Let's hear what that there is. Let's hear how we can help those who may need that little bit of encouragement today.
Let me say this initially before we dive into that. You mentioned something. I was listening to you. I watched you that week. I watched you the other week, and then somehow social media had you pop up on my page. And I said, let me listen while I was doing some work. And then I was listening to you again. I said, I said, this right here needs to be encouraged, because this is good stuff. But then, as you just mentioned, equally so, whenever someone tells me I've been a blessing to them, it inspires, it encourages, and it's gasoline on my wood to help me keep burning.
Amen.
So I'm glad that it was a timely message for you as well. When we talk about this whole concept of you are going to get there, there are a lot of people who said, man, listen, for the past few years, I've been wanting to get there. As a matter of fact, I've been declaring this is my year so many times, I didn't even want to say that this year, because it felt more like a cliche. It's just, this is going to be my year. And some people have actually stopped saying that because they've been saying it for so long. But I believe that what we're going to talk about on the show today will be practical things that persons must commit to in order for them to get there. And the truth is, you are going to get there once you make a commitment to the following. And so if you're listening right now, you might want to invite somebody to tune in, because we're going to dive into some practical things. Now, here's one of the things I've learned a few years ago, and that is oftentimes the principle that can change your life is very practical and simple. And a lot of times people think I need some deep, very deep thought. And so I've been saying this for years now. The principles that I'm about to present is easy to do and it's easy not to do. And that's the reason why the majority of people don't do it. But here's the deal. It's also difficult to continue to do once you start doing it. So somebody said, well, he ain't saying nothing I haven't done. Well, the truth is, did you combine them all and did you remain consistent? Because consistency is a difference maker in getting there. The starting and stopping has hindered more people from getting there. I'm telling you, a lot of people start, they stop, they start, they stop. And you're going somewhere, but the truth is you're missing divine moments. You're missing strategic moments. You're missing, particular people, places, and things that should have been in line for you, but because you kept starting and stopping, you've been missing out. And so I'm hoping that the practical things I'm about to share is going to help somebody.
Before you continue, Coach, listen, that consistency is my word for the year. That was my word for the year. And the fact that you came out and you said that, I was like, look at Jesus. That is my word, because I don't know if anyone else is like me. Let me not who used to be like me, because I ain't like that no more.
Yeah.
Where we just was upset because of the routine, like we just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It got to be a point where I could just stray off a little bit, or like, okay, I can, and once again, I start things and then I get distracted. I look at something and I'm like, oh, let me just go do this particular thing. Now I'm over it. This 2023, I'm over it. So hopefully you all who are listening will be over it as well.
Yeah. My spiritual father there in the Bahamas, he told me a few years ago, he said, Miller, and that's Apostle Raymond Wells from Living Waters.
Hey, hold on. Hello, Apostle Wells. Hello, Apostle Wells. Happy New Year to you. That's my boy. Yes. And of course, Pastor Olivia Wells, his beautiful wife. Hello, we salute you. Hopefully, we'll have them on the show this year as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good stuff. He said to me a few years back, he said, boy, Miller, you've been going at this for a while, and it's been very interesting that every year you come out of the gate swinging again. And it's been about a journey of 20 consistent years. And as you mentioned, there are moments where you may find that distraction present themselves, but what you got to do is you got to focus on the main thing. And the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Now, here's what I teach. Vision determines what time you get up, what book you read, how you spend your money, where you go, who you go with. Vision determines your focus of the week, your focus of the month. Vision determines what programs you invest in. I mean, vision is the difference maker. The challenge is most people fail because of broken focus. It's not that sometimes we don't get a vision. It's because of the broken focus that gets us distracted, looking to the left and to the right at all of these other things. And so over the years, Coach Hannah, what I've been doing is just chipping away. Just chipping away. And every day I'm chipping. And so what happens is you study, you assess, you revive, you improve, you develop, but you keep chipping. You keep chipping. And I'll tell you, being right at the station, right where you are now, if you decide to make one step every day to get on the Eastern Road, it may take you a long time, but after a while, you will realize you can't see the station no more. You ain't gonna be where you were.
Yes. Yes.
And along the way, a lot of people may have stopped. Somebody stopped over at the university. Somebody stopped at KFC. But you just kept chipping. And before you, they said, "How did you get here?" I kept chipping. I kept
Yes.
chipping. Are you ready for me to dive into these principles?
Yes, go right ahead. But when you said that too, it reminded me of my sales manager that says she loves to say this, coach. She says, "How do you eat an elephant?
One bite
One bite at a time."
Yes.
One bite. And Tony laughing because he has it all the time. And so that reminded me so much of that statement. And that little statement kept me going. Like, you can't do everything at once. Calm down, relax yourself. Just peace. Just peace. It's okay. Let's go. I'm ready, sir.
Let's do it. All right. The first thing I'm going to say, if you're going to get there, you're going to have to do number one, and that is develop unmatched discipline. Unmatched discipline. Discipline is the difference maker that allows you to get up when you don't feel like getting up. Discipline allows you to stay up when you want to go to bed. Discipline allows you to keep going when everybody else isn't going. Discipline. It's the difference maker. Discipline will have you, watch this, y'all, to have two jobs just so that you can make the timeline to get there. Hello. Somebody said, "Well, I ain't making enough on this job." Well, discipline will say, whatever I got to do. Rise early, go to bed late, have two jobs, but I'm going to discipline myself to cut back a little bit. No Netflix for a while, no coffee for a while, no fast food for a while. Disciplining yourself to get there. So somebody needs to know 2023 won't be better if you don't have discipline. It starts with somebody say, "Well, I ain't quite that disciplined." Then don't anticipate, hope, or believe that you are going to get what you're trying to get, because discipline is a necessary ingredient for you to get there. And guess what? You can learn to become disciplined. If you're not that disciplined, you can improve when it comes to discipline. But you have to make up in your mind that, hey, listen, by any means necessary, which moves me on to number two. Number two, a strong work ethics. A strong work ethics. I'm talking about, I lived in Nassau. I used to hang on Soldier Road. I did construction out Life Key. I used to be on the back of the truck, and then I did construction. I launched my program to try to get my platform going. And I was doing security at Breezes on the beach at night from the 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock shift. I ain't no joker. I was on Life Key doing construction, and I was doing the Breezes security the same year I became 1999 most distinguished youth leader. The same year I was in youth parliament. I was in youth parliament and doing security. I was in youth parliament doing construction. You know why? Because I realized that I didn't have the jump start other people had, and I needed to make sure that my work ethic outmatched those people who are showing up average but more talented. Those people who are more educated but they didn't have the work ethic to match me. And so if you could just incorporate the highest level of discipline with an incredible work ethics, you're going to get there. Okay? The Bible says, watch this. What a man sow, he is going to reap. If you are sowing an exceptional work ethics, it attaches itself to this scriptures. Watch what the scripture says. See a man diligent in his business, he'll stand before kings. It's just a matter of time. Discipline and a strong work ethic. Strong. I'm talking about, here's the deal. They ask for level 3 service, you give 5. They ask for level 5 performance, you give 7. They ask for level 7 performance, you give 10. They tell you read 1 chapter, you read 2. They tell you show up at 9, you show up at 8:30. They tell you leave at 5, you leave at 5:30. I'm talking about going above and beyond.
Wow.
You can't be big. Now, here's the deal. We live in a society where most people are just doing enough. Most people, just enough to get by. So it's easy to get to the top if you would just incorporate a level of work ethics. Some people say, I don't know how he does it. You see what I'm saying? That's what you want. You want your reputation, the procedure. I don't know how he does it. I don't know. You know what? You got to decide you're going to be so good that you can't be ignored.
Mm.
Let me say it again. Be so good at what you do that you can't be ignored. I'm trying to get there. Be so good at what you do that you can't be ignored. Guess who was like that? Joseph was like that. Joseph, wherever they put him, he rise to the occasion. Wherever they put him, listen, you're going to get to the promise. You dreamt something, now you just got to be so good that if they put you in the pit, they're going to end up saying he deserved better than that. Take him out of the pit, put him in prison. He deserved better than prison. Put him in Potiphar's house. Someone accuse him. He still rise to the occasion, but you got to be good. And that's going to be connected to your work ethics. People need to see that you show up and you show up strong. The next one, guys, is number 3, and that is have a healthy mindset. Mindset. Yes, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you don't believe you're going to make it, you're not going to make it. Someone said to me, Coach Hannah, someone said to me, you made it because you're in the States. I said, I made it when I was on Soldier Road.
Okay.
I made it to youth parliament. I made it. Come on, man. I was the second largest grant receiver in the Ministry of Youth when I left. I left Aaron Bailey with an attendance certificate in 1992, and in 1999, I was in youth parliament. What shifted? I didn't arrive and got success in the United States. I arrived and got success once my mindset started to change. Success, what's this? What I've discovered, someone is succeeding in every environment. I've traveled to 17 plus countries doing ministry and dealing with different individuals, and I've discovered someone is cutting a check in every country. Someone is doing well. I was in Haiti after the earthquake, and we were doing work. And when we left the work area we were working, we went on the campus and went swimming in the pool and in the cafeteria and sat down and was watching the news. And security gates all around. I'm thinking I'm swimming in a pool nicer than the pool I have in Texas. And I'm sitting down in the cafeteria enjoying a delicious meal. And at the same time, I'm in the country they say is the worst or the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But someone is succeeding in Haiti. Someone is succeeding in South Africa. Someone is succeeding in Ghana. Someone is succeeding in Jamaica. Someone is succeeding in Auckland, Exuma, Long Key. They say, well, the islands are difficult, but somebody is still succeeding. The Bahamas is difficult. Someone is still crushing it. Here's what you got to remind yourself when it comes to your mindset. Someone is going to do well this year. Why not me?
Let me stop you right there. Someone is going to do well this year. Why not me? Tony, you heard that? Tony, you have to say it. Someone is going to do well this year.
Why not me?
Why not Tony? Why not Tony, Coach?
Coach, what the problem is we think, watch this, we will say someone is going to do well this year. But Coach Hannah, only with that being someone else will do well, we very seldomly say, why not me?
Why not me? Why not me? On that note, that's the mindset. On that note, we're going to take a slight break. Not much, because there's too much. This is loaded, and we want to dissect some more, right? So let's take a break, and right after the break, we'll continue on with Coach Ricardo Miller. Stay tuned. Hello to our Facebook audience. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you do have any questions, feel free to type it in the comments for Coach Ricardo. If you have anything that you want to share or express, or if it's anything that he has said thus far that really ministered to you, that shook you up. I see persons already been quoting some of the things that he's said. Consistency is key. Discipline is definitely a major key. Be so good that you can't be ignored. Yes, I am going to be so good that I won't be ignored. Yes, these are awesome, awesome nuggets from Coach Ricardo. And these are things that we need. I mean, we always saying, yes, I'm going to do well. Yes, I'm going to excel. We always have our little, I wouldn't say little, but we always have our New Year's resolution written, ready to go. We get all excited. And then by March, we plateau, like we just go down or we just get discouraged. But throughout this time and throughout this year, especially, we're gonna try to do some things that, especially on the show, that will help encourage and motivate you to go along the way, because we don't want to leave anyone behind. And even the spirit that Coach Ricardo came in concerning me, when he came in, it's clear. It's clear. No one is going to be left behind. Whatever God has placed within him to do what he has to do to help propel people and push people into purpose, I think that that's what he's come to do here on this show. And basically, that's his lifestyle. That's his purpose. So Coach Ricardo, we're just waiting and excited to hear whatever else you have to say. But we're on a short break, and then when we get back on, we'll allow you to continue. Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm
All
excited.
right. Okay, in 1 minute. So anything you want to share right now while we're on a break?
Hey, the principle will work if you work the principle.
Amen. The principle will work if you work the principle. That's right. Were you able to share the live on your Facebook?
I was able to share it on 2 pages. Not
Okay.
on, I can't get it on my
Okay.
regular page yet.
On the regular page. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back on now.
Okay.
You're listening to Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we have with us I don't even know what to say, to the wise one.
So
One of the many who will able to push us further into this year and to help us, to give us nuggets, to give us insight as to how we can better improve and how we can get there, wherever that there is in 2023. Coach Ricardo Miller, he once again has been helping us thus far with, he's been speaking about consistency, the importance of that, the importance of discipline, telling us, look, we have to be so good, especially with work ethics, and being on the workplace, and even being an employer rather, whatever it is that we do, let it be so good that people won't ignore us, or people won't ignore the gift that is already in us. Right, Coach?
that's correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yep. Ready for me?
Let's continue.
Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, something you have to remember. We're on information overload. I mean, you can almost learn anything on YouTube. There's books galore out there. There are individuals like myself who are showing up every day. Here's what you have to do in order to get there. Also, you have to make a commitment to, watch this, move beyond just knowing to application. Okay, you have to move beyond just knowing to application. Here's what I found to be true. What I found to be true is the Bible says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So for a long time, most people were hinged on not knowing. So just people didn't know. Now we live in a society where people say, well, he didn't say anything I don't know. See, so what has happened is the adjustment has occurred to where now we've just become excited about knowing. Somebody said, well, I read all of John Maxwell books. Your life don't reflect that, though. I read all of Miles Monroe book, but your life don't reflect that. Well, I got me 2 masters and I'm on my way to my doctorate, but your life don't reflect that. It's not about the gathering of information. It's about activating the information once it's collected. So if you want to get there, you have to activate. Okay, you have to make sure that the information you receive is the information you apply once you discover that it's true. The Bible says the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. So the goal is not just to know, the goal is to do. Now, let me tell you this, Coach Hannah, the struggle is most people feel so impressed to have known or now know that they can go to the family and say, well, well, I just got that certification. Well, I just read that book. I just got that degree. And so because that put us a little bit above others, most people rest there. If you're going to get there, which is the place you belong, you're going to have to push past comparison. That's my next point. You're going to have to kill the whole element of I'm doing better than so many people. The goal is not to do better than other people. The goal is to maximize your potential. Your potential could be that you go further than anyone in your family, go further than anyone on your island, go further than anyone in your city, go further than anyone in your school. Don't compare yourself, complete yourself. Come on. Don't compare yourself, complete yourself. Complete the assignment so that you can say it is finished. When it's all said and done, you want to be able to say, I've done what I've been placed here to do. Now, here's the challenge. It's very easy to feel good about your accomplishments when a lot of people are casually engaged in life and you just leveled up a little bit better than them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why you have to have laser-like focus and decide, I am not comparing myself, but I'm going to lean all by myself in pursuit of my assignment. I'm going to lean all by myself to the glory of God. So here's the deal, Coach Hannah. There comes a time in a life when you start to acquire certain things. I had someone said to me 5 years ago, Coach Hannah, watch this. 5 years ago, they said, how much is enough, Ricardo Miller? Now, Soldier Road wanted to come back out, and I wanted to just, hey, say that to me in my, hey. I don't even own an island yet in the Bahamas. I don't have multiple campuses of properties and private. And the dude gonna ask me how much is enough. And here's the deal. That was because I had acquired more than him.
Right.
And that's oftentimes how people will try to deal with you. And so watch the spirit of how much is enough. Because let me tell you, I've now learned how to answer that. Enough is when my potential says you've been fully maximized. That's enough. Now, here's the deal. The Bible says the earth is the Lord. There is no shortage. Someone owns every hotel in the Bahamas. Somebody. Come on. Every private jet landing in that island, on that island, is owned by somebody. Okay? Every automobile that was shipped into the Bahamas, somebody purchased it. And why we got people who still, I want to just own a car one day. You know that cars coming in every day? Do you know that resorts are opening everywhere? So, listen, man, he gonna tell me how much is enough. I don't own an island. I would love to have the little Ricardo Miller Island locked off on one side of the Bahamas. So let's go into the points again, okay? So here's the deal. If you're going to get there, you're gonna have to be a problem solver. The big money comes to problem solvers. Huge success comes to problem solvers. You can't play it small and expect to get there. Okay? The more problems you solve, the more life will reward you for having solved a problem. Steve Jobs solved a problem. Okay? Come on, Zuckerberg solved a problem. You have to become a problem solver. Somebody said, well, I'm here on this particular island and ain't nothing happening on the island. And then 10 years later, they go back to that same island they was on and someone built a resort on the same spot they thought that was happening. Come on. You missed it. Someone saw it. You missed out. Now you're saying it's the government selling everything. No, you had a chance, but you missed out. You missed out. The truth is someone is succeeding right where you are not paying attention to get involved and become a problem solver. In the Bahamas, problems still need to be solved because every time you open the newspaper, you hear problems. You listen to TV, problems. The internet is problems. Why not think of how can I solve this problem? And you will be paid or rewarded for having solved the problem. The challenge is most of us aren't pushing ourselves to get there, to being problem solvers. World will be in pursuit of you in proportion to your level of problem solving.
I love that.
You got to be prepared to solve problems. Now, here's the deal. In addition to get there, I've got this other point. You have to make it a commitment to be adaptable. Okay, you have to be adaptable. You have to be prepared to adjust. You have to be prepared to assess. You have to be prepared to change. You can't lock in and don't make any kind of adjustments, because the truth is 2023 is not going to be like 2022, and 2023 is not going to be like 2020 or 2021. It's time for you to look at what you've been doing and say, okay, I've been making this type of money for a while, but if for me to get there, I need this kind of money. How can I need to get creative? Okay, in order to get there, I have to be adaptable and I have to be creative. Somebody said, well, I'm not that creative. Here's the deal. Start hanging around those who are that creative. Okay? Listen, I'm not that adaptable. Start hanging around those that are adaptable. Do you know that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most? See, most people, Coach Hannah, they're talking about those who are climbing rather than hanging with those who are climbing. If you chose, what's it? If you want to get there, go with those who are in pursuit of getting there as well, and who have had their mind made up that they're going to get there, and especially those who are ahead of you. Now, what we do in the Bahamas, y'all, we talk about people who are on their way rather than learn from them. Okay, Coach Hannah, you're a coach. You've discovered things others need to discover. But how many people call you every week saying, Coach Hannah, you tapped into something, girl? How much is your services? Because don't ask for free. Somebody got to pay. Hello?
They like free things. Free.
Right? But creativity is a must. Adaptability is a must. Affiliation is a must. Someone is assigned to help you. The question is, are you willing to learn from them? There's a statement, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
All of us have a teacher who has appeared, and a whole lot of us have ignored the teacher, so the teacher kept moving. It's your window sometimes. If you're going to get there, you have to be willing to allow someone who already got there before you to help you get there as well. Okay? If I were to land in Nassau, I would land to the airport, never went to Elizabeth Estate. But if I rented a car and I drove behind somebody who was going to Elizabeth Estate, who knew how to get to Elizabeth Estate, I increased my chances 100% getting to Elizabeth Estate, even if I've never been to Elizabeth Estate, because I'm following somebody who has been there before and is now prepared for me to follow them. That's what people who are trying to get there, they're prepared to do. Okay, here's a couple of more, and then I want to take some questions. Okay, be willing, watch this, to log down your goals. You need goals. In order to get there, I tell people you need daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, annual goals. So every day you get up with determination, you go to bed with satisfaction. Determination to make something happen, going to bed with satisfaction that you did something. Now here's the deal. If you make Monday work for you with your to-do list, but Monday's to-do list works favorably with Tuesday's list, and makes Tuesday's list work favorably with Wednesday's list, and Wednesday's list work favorably with Thursday and Friday, and then watch this, you look at your week, it's like a puzzle. The pieces starts to connect themselves. And if you do that all year long, all of the pieces will start to connect themselves. And if you're doing a 1,000-piece puzzle, how many of y'all know the picture will start to what? Reveal. The pictures will start to reveal itself, but you have to write down, what is it that I'm in pursuit of every day? I call it goals. Write it down, make it clear. The Bible says, write the vision. Hello? Write the vision. Now here's the deal. Someone will read it and want to help you with it. But you got to have it. You got to make it clear. You got to identify, I'm trying to get there, but I'm here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time this new year, and I'm going to write out the 26 things I have to do to get there. When you write out those 26 things, then you write them in priorities. First things first. If you don't have a job, you need to get a job. If you need a car to get there, then second thing may need, get the money so you can get the car. You make it, you list them in priorities. One thing, if I get this, they'll get me to this. This will get me to this, they'll get me to this. And then you list that first 30 days, first 90 days, first half a year, 9 months in, before you know it, you've had a great year. Coach Hannah, most people don't realize a great year comes from one, a great day turning into great days.
Mm.
Great days turning into great weeks. Great weeks turning into great months. Great months turn into a great year. Somebody said, this is going to be a great year. Not if you're wasting your days.
Yes. I as you speak, I'm speaking to Tony too, because I gotta let him know now. You can't waste your days, Tony. You can't
No.
waste it.
No.
So,
I teach that days are expensive. Days are expensive. A day wasted is a day you'll never have again. So you have to understand second, minutes, and hours matter. So I was talking to someone today and I said I had 10 meetings in a 3-hour window. They said, how did you mean you had 10 meetings in a 3-hour window? I said, because everybody who came to me, I said, you got 5 minutes.
I like
And
that.
some of those meetings turned out to be 3 minutes. Okay. Some people, they weren't whole 5. There was some 3. Because it's all about second, minutes, and hours. We waste so much time in our pursuit to trying to get there that oftentimes we miss a whole year never having gotten there because we don't use our time wisely. So my last point, here's what I do, and I'm going to take some questions. My last point, it's not really, am I able to get there? You could get there, but you're going to have to decide to manage yourself better.
Mm.
It's all about self-management, you know. It's not even time management. Time doesn't stop for nobody. So you have to manage yourself better within the time. Somebody said, well, you know, I'm money short. Then manage yourself to the point where you have 2 jobs. Well, I don't want nobody to see me working at the gas station. You're on a hustle for something. Determination. You got that relentless spirit that says, if I got to hustle, have 2 jobs and a little side gig going, I'm going to do whatever I got to do. What Dave Ramsey said, if you live like no one else, eventually you'll be able to live like no one else.
Mm-hmm.
Delayed gratification, burning the midnight oil, deciding to go the extra mile. It's all connected to management. So most people have great hearts. Their desire is strong. It's huge. I'm wanting so much more than I currently have, Coach. That's your heart talking.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is your heart don't give you a life. Your head does. Your heart don't give you a life. Your head does. And so you can long for more, but if your skill set is low, you're not going to acquire much. Once you develop yourself, your life will reflect the level of your development. Okay?
Mm.
If you don't develop your understanding with money, you will lose whatever money comes your way. If you don't understand the role of people on your journey to get there, then you will have people come and you will say, everybody's using me and nobody wants to help me. The truth is, someone is assigned to help you, and there are 8 billion people on the planet. And if they don't want to pay in Nassau, you could start to circulate your services online and have them pay in India.
Yes.
Okay, you can have them pay in South Africa. You can have them pay in Barbados, right out of the comfort of your living room. In 2020, it was one of my most profitable years. The year the whole world was shut down, but I was speaking in South Africa. I was speaking in Jamaica. I was speaking in Barbados, all virtually. And my account kept saying, ka-shing, ka-shing. That's mindset. All you got to know is your location really don't even matter anymore when it comes to the hands of God being on your life. Coach, I'm going to take questions from here.
Wow. Man, this is so good. Your heart does not give you. Okay, let me read through some of the comments. My thing is stuck. Funny, I can't get. All right, so we have persons that are saying discipline is definitely a major key. This is already starting heavy. Become a problem solver. Okay, so these are just nuggets that persons are typing in. When we were off the show, I read a few of them. This is good. This is good. Stop comparing to others. Stay in your lane. That's correct. You stay in your lane. The truth you know will set you free. That is correct. Listen, so thank you so much for my Facebook audience that are typing in, and they're just saying what it is that you're saying, because we need that. Sometimes we need to read it and hear ourselves say these things. But Coach, what about persons who are discouraged? You know, you get all the points, and I think one of the things that you said that they've come to a point maybe where they have information overload.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, you go to church on New Year's Eve, and you had a pastor say, "Oh, this is my year. This is the year that you're going." And like you said,
Yep.
The year have been going and going and going. How do we appeal to those who are discouraged because they still haven't received their year?
The challenge is we have to move from a level of feelings. My feelings can govern me. My feelings can govern me. My decisions need to. My feelings can't govern me. So I teach a lot of my clients, don't let your feelings be your guide, because feelings are like this. Okay. And so for those persons who don't feel inspired, don't feel motivated, get outside of how you feel. And that's a discipline again. You have to decide to train yourself like a Navy SEAL. You have to decide to train yourself like a Marine. In other words, I get up 5 days a week and I go to the gym. I don't go to the gym because I feel like going to the gym. I go to the gym because I would like to live until I'm 100 years old and functioning. I see something in front of me that I'm making my body discipline itself to get to. And so what I'm saying to the person who's feeling, discouraged and a little depressed, and find your why. Find your why. What is the thing that you were called or created to do? And then draw up a plan, write out that vision, and then establish goals that will get you there. And then reinforce your position with Toastmasters, reinforce it with a fitness club, reinforce it with a mastermind group, reinforce it with a morning workout, reinforce it with morning motivation. Go back and listen, reinforce it with a coach. But do whatever you need to do to reinforce yourself so that you don't quit when you want to quit. Get yourself an accountability partner. But here's what you have to do. You have to decide, my feelings won't be the thing that governs me. Okay? My feelings won't be the thing. Years ago, I was so feelings driven that I found myself starting and stopping. I found myself losing a lot because it was based on how I felt. But once I started to align myself on the facts, once I started to become, watch this, once I got, the Bible says, in all you're getting, get an understanding. Oh my goodness. See, when you get an understanding, as a parent, you look at your child and they're crying and you said, no.
I love that.
I thought, but I thought my cry would break you. See, I understand the reason for my no, even though you don't understand it. And so you have to live in your life in every aspect of it. Just as much as you want to drive to that drive-through, you think back about your budget and you say no. Somebody's calling you and they're a leech. Every time they call, they take, they never give. You look at that phone and you say no. You know, someone say, hey, can I borrow your car? The last time they took it, it was on E at the price of gas. You say no, right? Somebody said, well, what about people not liking you? That's getting outside of the feeling factor and says, listen, everyone's not going to like me. Okay? I had to just conclude that on my way to get there, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
No.
Now, here's the deal. You don't even have to display that. I know I ain't everybody's cup of tea. No, just keep operating. Everyone don't go to Popeye's Chicken. But guess what? They still got customers coming in and somebody is cashing in. Hello.
Cha-ching.
Hello.
We have a question here. What are some suggestions for networking when you don't know where to start?
Join the Kiwanis, join the Rotary Club, join Toastmasters. Beautiful places to network. Join social clubs. One of the best places to network are social clubs. That's where you can start. And you start as a member wanting to be a part of the organization, and the organization has socialization built into it that turns into networking. But you can't walk in there first with give me. You have to walk in there with affiliation. I just want to be around the greats. I just want to be around those who are interested in learning, those who are interested in serving. And so when you decide to join like that, you will be more inclined to get benefits long term. People join churches for networking, bad move, because if you walk in overselling, you're going to get your back turned to you. If you go at a Kiwanis Club, Toastmasters, or Rotary Club trying to sell too fast, you're going to get bumped to the curb. So I would suggest social club, but when I say social club, go in it for the mission that you believe best aligned to you. I like the Rotary Club, and that's what I'm joining this year. I have it on my list, and I made 2023 as my membership. I've been Toastmasters for for about 15 years, and now I'm going Rotary, right? And so look at the groups that has the kind of behaviors that actually attribute to who you are and where you're trying to go. And hey, the Better Business Chamber of Commerce, just join those groups, register your business to connect with the commerce, and just be a part. Different different associations, there are tons of them out there. Find the ones that are aligned with the type of people that you would like to be.
I love it. We're going to take a break now, and then we're going to continue on with the questions. So tune in. We'll be right back. I love that. I love that. I love that. Our Facebook audience, if you have any other questions, don't feel free to share them. Let me see. Yeah, just feel free to share them. Coach, you're doing well. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank
so
you.
what is your reason for wanting to join Rotary?
Networking.
This is off the record, by the way.
Yeah, networking. I want to be around another level of accomplished people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best, most accomplished people that I've met in the Bahamas, I connected with through Toastmasters. Was a phenomenal program that I would never take light of those years that I were in the Toastmasters program. And now I want to be around business minds. This next season of Minds, I would love to own an island and a private jet and all of the stuff all of it, right? Oh. Well, there aren't that many clubs that have wealth as a major goal. Most Rotarian clubs are money backing. They're strong on the financial side of things. So, who you hang with matters.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And so for persons, for that individual who was asking about networking, as Coach said, who you hang with matters. Networking is important. I can't wait to share most of the nuggets that I have for my talk to the audience moment. You've already said. I don't even know if I got a chance to even do my talk because Coach said everything. Coach said everything. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
No, we get because we have an interview at 7:15. Someone an interview at 7:15. They come in. They're not coming in. They come in virtually. Yeah. So yeah, get over the emotional tantrums. That is correct. That is correct.
It's the challenging thing that I mentioned a little bit earlier in our talk was that it is easier said than done because we're not often accustomed to disciplining ourselves with all of these types of practices. And the more structured your life is in regards to the things that you're supposed to do to get there, the more you will get there with a high level of appreciation for having gotten there. But the more off track you are, the principles sound easy, but the discipline and the consistency that is necessary is where most people fall apart. That's why they'll be like, oh, he ain't saying nothing I didn't say. I said heard, or I'm gonna start that tomorrow, and then they wake up tomorrow the same way. I'm doing a webinar this weekend, Saturday, on breaking bad habits. Most people don't study their habits.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Welcome back. So we're continuing on with our questions. We do have another question here for you, Coach. And the question is advice for introverts or people who have difficulty socializing. What can you tell them?
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. Here's what I said. Listen, you have trained yourself to not embrace a social group over time. That's who we become who we are over time. Okay? And so you can change that by deciding, okay, what I'm wanting out of life demands that I socialize at a higher level. So what I will do is I'm going to take baby steps. And the baby step here is, let's just say you join a Toastmasters club. A great program that is okay and very understanding to introverts. When I joined Toastmasters, believe it or not, the first time I made a 3-minute speech. They call it an icebreaker. After I finished, I sweat like I had spoken for an hour, and I sweat. All my clothes were sweating, everything. I walked right out of the club and didn't want to come back for about 3 weeks because I thought I did horrible and I wasn't a speaker and I didn't do good and all that stuff. But because the program is built for people like me, you have to commit to the program. So I went in there and I sat and I studied and I watched. And so being an introvert may be who you are now, but your vision needs to determine who you are going to be. And over time, you can become that by simply deciding to take those baby steps of adjusting. I don't normally talk when I get in the room. So now what I'm going to start practicing is talking to the person on my right and the left at church. I'm going to eventually start saying hi to anyone in the elevator. I'm going to eventually talk a little bit more to the person at Starbucks. I'm going to say hello to the young man pumping my gas. I'm going to start social. I was hardcore. And then I started to realize hardcore was actually blocking me a little bit. So then I had to bring it down a little bit. And so let me say this.
When you use the term hardcore, what do you mean? You were talking too much?
No, I was from the streets. And so it was always the hardcore look like, they walk in the place. Just all serious, all notch up.
He doesn't look like that. He does not look. Come on now. Tell the truth now, Coach. Come on now.
Anybody from Aaron Bailey who know me would put a comment in the comment section. They'll tell me, I got to make up my story, right? But here's the deal. It was hardcore. Then I had to learn that, okay, I want to be sociable. I want to laugh. I want to be fun. I want an enriched marriage. I want an enriched fellowship with my children. And so I had to make some adjustments. So I wasn't the talkative dad, but I had to make adjustment talkative dad. I had to make adjustment. So now I walk in the place and I say, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? And somebody's like, who in the world is this doing? I chose to become this person because I'm like, okay, the world needs light. And the Bible said, let your light shine. So I'm going to be the bright light shining in every room that I go in. But I had to learn that. Okay? Back in the day, he run out. See that? Look at that. See?
Look at that. Gee, these people, you telling the truth, sir? I just thought you just making it up. Wow.
I said, ask somebody from our village. Right?
There you go. Back in the day, he ran RM. Roughneck. My God.
I had my issues, right? I had my issues. And so the reality of it is what I'm saying to our viewer and the person who's listening, you can change. You can make a commitment to change. It's going to be a little bit difficult because that's not what you've been accustomed to. But you got to start making those little small introduction. You walk in the office and say, hello, everyone. You're going to pay that light bill. You decide to say, hi, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. That's just a little extra. Somebody said, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you so friendly? Because we have some people in our culture who actually fight friendliness because they come from a more dogmatic, very angry, drive mad, no smile, just. And one fella tried to pull that on me when I was in Nassau a little while back. I walk in it was a restaurant. I walk inside and I look at the menu. I was like, miss, what do you recommend? And she looked at me, she was like, you pick your own order. Oh. I was like, so what do you think is good in the back? She was like, and I look up at the lady in the corner. I said, ma'am, how you doing? Good morning. Hello, ma'am. Afternoon. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go get the macaroni, potato salad, peas and rice. Give me that grouper. And the lady looked at me and I say, so how's your day going? And the lady, the girl who worked there didn't respond. And then the elderly lady in the back, she said, young man, you're the most friendliest young man I have met in a while. Do you know one little joker was sitting down in the corner with his little hood on and said, that's because he's a little faggot. Oh. Like,
you wouldn't bring up the RM and out of UA, the Soldier Road.
I wanted to say, hey, say it again. Say it. But the devil's busy. The devil busy. I ain't been that way in a long time. But my point is, see, if I didn't know who I was, I would let him cause me to make a shift, and I just jump kick him in the corner, and then next thing you know, they got me on the news saying, Millie, I told you all he ain't change. Right?
You know how we go.
And so
they say dogs don't bark at park, eh?
Dogs don't bark at parked car. It's
Uh-huh.
correct, you know. But I use that story. I talk about that a lot because sometimes that's the reason why some people don't change. They can't take someone mislabeling them because you've chosen to become better. And now you have gone where someone else may not be interested in going, but they want to mislabel you because that's not them. And so you just got to know, I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to be real nice dude, making my presence nicely felt in every space. And nobody could take advantage of me. I know how to hold my own.
Now, there's another question here. This is my question actually. You were going to get there as our topic.
Yeah.
I've experienced something, and I had your spiritual father, Apostle
Yeah.
Wells, on the
Yeah.
show last year concerning
Yes.
fear. Fear
Yes.
was something that kept me bound. Fear was something that if I hadn't gotten over it, I would
Yeah.
not have had the show today.
Right.
Right? There are countless others who still struggle with that
Yeah.
spirit,
Yeah.
who still struggle with having to launch out, and who still struggle with having to take risks. How do you speak to those people?
Well, we obviously, as I mentioned earlier, again, the scripture says God has not given us the spirit of fear. So most of us know that, right? But as you just eloquently stated, we still struggle with fear. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. Fear has a tendency of disappearing for a number of reasons. Small wins eliminate fear. Small wins decrease your level of fear because, like David, he had such a significant amount of small wins that when the moment came for a giant to be killed, he referenced his variable wins. He says, hey, the God who kept me here is the same God who's going to keep me at that. So I think small variable wins need to be identified and appreciated. That's number one. Number two, you need to discover your unique gift to the earth and celebrate that. David, again, I'm going to use him a couple of times in this. David again says, you know what? One, I have to speak to my previous wins to get this king to give me a chance. But then I also have to refer to the fact that I'm not good with just sword or shield. And so I need to now know myself enough to speak to my situation. My situation is that this is a giant in front of me. I feel confident that God is calling me to take this giant out. But now I'm being, watch this, advised by the king, the most certified voice in the region. Here's my sword, here's my shield. I have to decline the most certified king. Then I have to have my brother who already thought I should be taking care of the sheep. And why you out here with your little nosy self, right? Why you out here, I have to now ignore him and I have to decline the king to say, I am not good with those. But I do have something. It's called a sling and a stone. And watch this, owning what you have. Well, because here's the deal. No one can beat you with your sling and your stone. No one can beat you being you. Hello. Here's the deal. I left R&B with an attendance certificate. Still don't have a diploma and don't have a degree. Okay? And the question is, why do I find myself showing up in so many environments and killing giants? Because all I say every day is, God, you who kept me with lions, tigers, and bears is going to help me to kill this giant that's in front of me. So when fear shows up, I refer to all of my wins. And listen, when I talk about wins, I talk about small wins, like my first win in Toastmasters when I spoke a 5 to 7 minute speech. And then my church asked me to give my testimony. After I gave my testimony, one lady heard my story and she said, you need to come talk to my youth group. I went to the youth group. What's this true story? I went to the youth group. I spoke. They gave me a fruit basket and an envelope with $200. I, at the time, was doing construction, making $175. I said, $200? I only spoke for about 35 minutes. What's this? I went back to Toastmasters. They said that's called a professional speaker. I said, that's what I want to be. Hello. And so you see, but along the way, I was overseas one time, 5,000 people I'm about to speak to. And I called my spiritual dad and I said, I'm concerned. I said, Jesus Christ, there's so many people, I'm not sure. He said, they call you. Years earlier, they had Miles Monroe had spoken there. He said, they call you. So give them Ricardo Miller. I rolled up my sleeve and I chose to be me, and they invited me back the next year.
Wow.
Okay? Because there's no one can beat you with your sling and your stone, but you gotta own your sling and your stone. Watch this, y'all. Your confidence is built in your sling and your stone, David. But if you go out there, Coach, if you go out there, Coach Hannah, with a sword, because all of these other guys got sword, but that ain't your expertise, you gonna die.
Woo.
So
Yeah,
I would say learn to own what you bring to the market. And then remember the last one. Be so good at what you do that you can't be ignored. And meaning, now here's the deal. When David threw the sting and the stone, he was the best at it. If it was 2023, you would see that all kind of infomercial. Buy your sling and your stone. It's the David sling and stone. Come on. Because here's the deal. It was going to be the hot item, because prior to the sling and the stone, it was the sword and the shield.
Yes.
Be so good at what you do. I encourage my clients. I say, listen, make sure that whenever you show up, you give your best service unto God, knowing that you left it all on the table. And that's enough. And the Bible says your gift will make room for you. Okay? Your gift. And so choose to be good at what you've been called to do, to the degree that you're not comparing yourself to anyone else, but simply knowing that if given a chance, give me a chance to shoot, coach. Give me a chance to shoot. Give me a chance to speak. Give me a chance to write. Give me a chance. I have been practicing this when nobody was watching for a long time. Give me my chance. And let me tell you something. When you do get your chance, don't convert to sword and shield, because you will die. And that's the problem. A lot of people, they're watching everyone else and they're forgetting that there is something within them that the world needs. The world don't need another T.D. Jakes. The world don't need another Miles Monroe. The world don't need another Bishop Neil Ellis. The world needs another individual who have discovered themselves and representing themselves in God at any given moment that the challenge is being presented to them.
I love that. I love that. You have to be you, man. There's another question here.
But here's the deal. You know, there's a tremendous fear to being you.
Yes.
Because we like who's being celebrated already. But if you learn to be you, you will be celebrated.
You know?
We like who is already being celebrated. But if you embrace you, going back to David killed his 10,000. But David wasn't being celebrated initially, but David embraced him. But you got to now know that there is greatness within you. And if you would embrace you, eventually you'll be celebrated too.
There is something that there's a how do I want to put it? I want to put it as I could say this because this is the show that God has blessed me with. The Holy Spirit placed in my spirit, because I was trying to find a way to word it, you know. This formula that says yes plus obedience equals impact. Okay. I got this last year, right around the time for the show. And because I was saying yes to things, however, I was putting it beforehand. I was doing my own thing with what the instructions were. You know, I was trying to formulate, I was trying to customize the instructions to my own liking so that I could be comfortable enough to do the yes that was required of me. However, that was, of course, disobedience. But he said that if I say yes, along with the obedience, then the impact will follow. And I've been using that formula throughout all of last year, of course, into this year, stating it. And with that, it helps me so much to be me. It helps me so much to understand that, as you've stated, me being who I am, I don't have to be someone else. You know, I usually see you on our sister show right here on Star, and she does her thing and she does it well. I appreciate her. I love her. However, I can't be her.
Right. Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? And so being, like you said, for those who are listening, I have to reiterate, being who you are it's going to cost you. You may not see it now. You may be afraid of being who you are because you feel as if the rejection, we get rejected so many times that you're afraid to do it again because you fear that you're going to be rejected again.
Yep. Failure is a part of the process. Failure is a part of the process. You have to embrace failure by extracting the lesson from it. I'm going to say this. I was at a big conference. I wanted to be a keynote speaker at this conference, but they had me as a workshop speaker, and I had it on my list to be a keynote speaker at this conference. So all of the speakers went out, the workshop speakers went out to a dinner. This was in Chicago, and we were all sitting down, 20 of us at least. I'm the only person of color sitting at the table. And so I asked the guy who was at the head table, he was the keynote speaker for that night. I said, hey, bro, what's your opinion? Because I knew his expertise was an area where I needed help. So I said, any opinion for me, bro? What suggestion you have for me and my services? Because I knew he followed my platform as well. He ignored me. So then I asked him again, hey, bro, when he took a pause and he looked at me and then kept talking to someone else. So then Soldier Road tried to come out a little bit. And so I sort of like, hey, right? And so he still ignored me again. And then I got a little, sorry, right? Knocked on my hand. Hey. And he looked at me, he said, what, Miller, what? Ricardo, right? I said, what advice you would give to me? Knowing what I've been doing, what advice you would give to me? He said, man, Ricardo, man. And he said something. He said like 5 things. But he said it in disgust and frustration, but he threw it out real fast. And the Holy Spirit had me to grab that thing like a samurai ninja trying to catch pancakes. I was like, 1, 2, 3.
Catching everything.
I didn't catch the 2. I missed 2 of the ideas he said, but I caught 3 of them. God is my witness to this day. I remember 3 of those things. I looked at him, take no offense in how he said it, extracted the 3 that was said. The next 2.5 years, I incorporated what he said, and I was a keynote speaker 3rd year. And I'm telling you, his 3 things was the difference maker that changed my life. Now, here's the deal. How he shared it to me, most people would have dismissed it because of the attitude being presented. Right. You got to know how to extract what you need to extract from whatever is being presented to you. Failure, bad attitude, tough environment. You're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to get somewhere. Someone said, I don't like how he talked to me. Okay. Now, here's the deal. He is nowhere to be found. And that was in 2010. That was in 2010. You can barely find him on the internet. I'm on every day.
Hello. Let me cheers to that. Let's get this question. It says, how do you not lose focus as you mature in your field? It's a good question.
By being a lifelong learner. You have to decide to be a lifelong learner. Deciding to be a lifelong learner will show you where the putt is heading before the putt is hit. You have to now decide. Watch this. Another example. In 2019, I decided that I was going to start studying a number of things. Had no clue where the world was going. So in 2019, October, I retired from my particular space that I was doing for 24 years. I retired in October. In January, I launched Effective Living Life Management Agency. I got ready to launch my coaching service. I was hosting a retreat in April, had no clue that the pandemic was coming and was going to shut down the world, okay? I made the adjustment, and decided to learn something I hadn't learned. All of my friends in the previous space was getting laid off, and because they choose not to continue to adapt, learn, and discover how to evolve with time. And that's what continual learning will do for you. So here's the deal. 2019, I launched Effective Living. 2020, I spoke almost 3 times that of when I was a hot speaker in the traveling airline space of going to countries. I spoke more in 2020, almost 3 times that. I believe it is attached to the fact that I made a commitment to not get familiar with my calling. Okay, I made a commitment to be a lifelong learner. Discovering, I'm studying, I'm trying to learn coding now. Okay, I'm trying to learn how to back manage website. I'm trying to learn how to elevate with an understanding of working with higher level staff and teams and systems and structure. Even after having already been doing what I've been doing for 25, 26 years. So how do you stay hot and stay evolved? How do you stay hot and stay climbing? You have to stay evolving. How do you stay evolving? You stay learning. How do you stay? What do you do once you stay learning? Stay applying what you've learned, and it'll keep you. Look at another impressive person is TD Jakes. Check him out. He's reinventing himself even now at 65 plus as a guy who Hollywood respect, corporate America express, the church respect, and he's looking as powerful as he has ever looked.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Oh, someone says
Yeah,
disregarding the attitude is hard for me.
it's hard for a lot of people. It's
7:15.
hard
Here
for
we
a
go.
lot of people.
Yeah. Wow. So, Coach, listen, I am so happy that we invited you on to come out the gate, to come out running, to inspire us, to motivate us. This is something, this particular show is one that we have to, because it's going to be on our YouTube channel, Coach Trish Hannah. You can log in there. And of course, it's on live on Facebook. You can watch it there. But this particular show is something that you have to watch at least every quarter. It's imperative if you want to survive, if you want to be able to continue to push yourself. You got to watch the show again. And I am grateful for your presence here, and I thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Now, what I want you to do is to tell us how we can reach you, and then I also want you to share what upcoming events that you may be having, that you may be speaking to, or conferences that you, so that we can know where to go, how to follow you, and how to invest in you.
Thank you so much. RicardoMiller.com is my website. I'm on all major social media sites as Coach Ricardo Miller, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Coach Ricardo Miller. But you can get my book on Amazon, or you can go to my website, Effective Living, your guide to creating a life you don't need a vacation from. And last but not least, please feel free to, I have a webinar this coming Saturday. It's virtual training where we're talking about breaking bad habits. It's something everybody needs to look at, because the truth is you are the results of the habits you have formed up to this point. I can remember having not done anything in my life, but now I've created a life that I feel as though it's amazing because of the habits that I incorporate. Now I'm teaching others how to break those habits to get them to where they're trying to go. So this coming Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's virtual, so you can even go back and watch it at your convenience, but you got to register at ricardomiller.com. It's Breaking Bad Habits webinar with Coach Ricardo Miller.
I love it. Yes, I'll be there. I have to be there. I need to get rid of these habits. They're not bad, but they're not good either. They can be better. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So thank you so much. And do you have any last remarks before we go?
I just want to tell people, remember, hey guys, all you have to do is decide every day, I'm going to get better. Every day you make up in your mind, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. And then here's the deal. Decide to move towards those who are pushing for better. Don't allow age to limit you. Don't allow money to limit you. Don't allow association to limit you. Don't allow location to limit you. If God be for you, who can be against you? Remind yourself, I got God on my side, and I have potential that has not been maximized yet. So give your best effort on a daily basis, and over time, you'll find yourself there.
Amen. I love it. I love it. Coming up next, we have with us Ahmad Rashad Thompson. He's going to talk briefly about what it is that they're doing this month. I'm excited to hear what he has to say, but we're going to take a break. And thank you once again, Coach Ricardo, for being a part of the show. Coach Ricardo Miller, you've been a blessing. God bless you. And I got to make you my coach. Anyway, we'll talk offline with that. All right. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
God bless you as well. Thank you.
So, Coach, yes, I'm gonna go on your website so that I can look up the things that you have, of course, to follow you.
Yep.
And one of my nuggets for today for the talk to the audience moment is going and researching persons who you want to see yourself. Not saying being per se, but where you want to go when they're
Understand?
already there. And
Mhm.
sir, you are one of them.
Praise
And
God.
so, yes, you've gained a fan, a follower, a client. So we
Hey,
gotta make sure go on your website so that we can know how we can book you and allow you to help me to get to that level. But that's a part of my goal this
yep.
year.
That's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing. Like I said, I love it. I've been watching it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to soar. Would love for you to be a part of attend the webinar on Saturday. I promise you, you'll be amazed the practical things that we can apply into our lives that will shift us. I mean, into new levels because our life reflects our habits. They really, really do, and there are different habits for different seasons.
Yeah,
You know, and so when you want to go to the next level, you got to incorporate the habits that will reflect that.
absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you so much, and God
Thank you.
bless you. I'll reach out to you afterwards.
Please do. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Huh?
Okay, let's get Ahmad on.
Ahmad, Rashad, thumbs up.
Hello, who's that?
You there? That's Tony. That's Tony
Hey,
playing
Tony.
around.
Hey, what you say?
All is well, man. How are you? So, Trish, I'm actually at an event.
Y'all got 7 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. That's perfect because I still in time right now. Do you
Okay.
need my camera on, Trish? I'm actually in my car. Do you need my camera on? Or can
You
it be
don't
off?
have to. That's up to you.
You can be on.
How does this look? Does this look like
Oh
I'm in my
yeah.
car? Like calm down?
Right.
No, you're fine.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Stop back.
Fulfilled in life? Need help with time management? Or perhaps a breakthrough in your marriage? I believe we can help. At Your Lane Life Coaching, our professional team will help you discover.
I sent the link to you.
want and take you
Okay, let me
forward
quickly share it.
your desired outcome in your life or marriage. Fulfilling your goals is important to us. Call us today at 376-8689 or visit our website at www.yourlanelifecoaching.com. Your Lane Life Coaching, discovering pathways to progress.
You're listening to Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna.
Welcome back. I tell you, we get all kind of things happening today. We have with us now Mr. Ahmad Rashad Thompson. Hello, Ahmad. How are you?
Coach Trish, I am excellent. How are you?
I am doing well. Come tell us briefly what you're doing,
Listen,
and why are you doing it?
Coach, I'm so happy that you brought me on this evening for this quick word because I was listening to you and Coach Ricardo a few minutes ago, and I mean, it was right on track. I was in the spirit, and so were you
Hey.
guys because this is exactly what we need to be talking about. We need to be able to
Yes.
find those people in our community, in our world, in our space that we can begin to emulate, right?
Yes.
Not necessarily become. You don't have to become anybody else because, Trish, there's nobody on earth that can do what you've been called to do. Nobody.
Absolutely.
God has
Absolutely.
placed something in you that this world needs, deserves to experience. And sometimes we allow our circumstances, we allow what's in front of us, we allow what we can't see to determine who we will be. And that is an absolute no-no. That can happen in our professional lives, in our personal lives, in our spiritual lives. But what I'm doing with this conference, Trish, called Shift into Focus, is a professional development conference, and it's our inaugural conference, which means it's going to be an annual thing. And we want people to shift into focus. Now, I'm spelling the words shift and focus a little bit differently. Shift is spelled with a Y, and focus is spelled with a K. The reason for that is I need you to adopt a kingdom mindset. When you understand whose you are, there is nothing you cannot do. And I said it to you, Trish, but I also mean it for everybody else on this call, on this chat, because God has placed something in you that nobody else can birth. And when you understand whose you are, you just walk a little stronger. You walk a little taller. You tolerate less foolishness because you understand what God has called you to do. And when you look at that why in the word shift, no matter how many of these conferences you attend, no matter how many, if you was Coach Trish Hanna's biggest fan and you was be on every show and your life still ain't changing, now, I mean this with the most respect, it means then that you need to start counting on you. And so the why in shift means you have to make the determination to make your life better than it is today. You have to make the choices to get from where you are to where you want to be. You have to make the determination to get where God has called you to be. And at this conference, we're going to be talking, Trish, about things like, help, I need a job. Help, I hate my job. Help, I lost my job. The people fire me, Lord. They tell me go home, pack my bag, get my staple, and go. And lastly, help, I am stuck on my job. Every one of us in our careers and our professional lives, Trish, have felt one of those things before.
Yes.
You've been in a situation where you needed a job. You've been in a situation where you felt like, you know what, I really don't like this place. I don't like what I'm becoming here. You've had that call that says, you know what, this is your last day. Or you know somebody who has. And then lastly, you felt like, you know what, I like what I'm doing. I like where I'm doing it, but I feel like I've been in this role for the last 10 years. I can't seem to get ahead. They're overlooking me for promotions. They're turning me down. They're telling me I'm not ready. You need to be at this conference. If you are ready to understand what it, and each person speaking at this conference, Trish, is coming from a place of this actual topic. They have been the victim, if you will, of these circumstances, and now they are victors of their circumstances. They have taken control. They have walked into their purpose. They are acting as though they are kingdom citizens, and they are living their best life. And I want you to join us on January 21st, 2023 at the Fox Hill Community Center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I said 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a reason. That's all day. So, Trish, you got to go get your hair done from Friday, get your nails done from Thursday, get your lash put on from Wednesday. Because I can see you all day Saturday. Now, I don't need your money because it's free, but I do need your time. And if you are serious about shifting into focus, you got to make the investment into yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. God has given you everything you need. All you got to do is tap into it, unleash it, and watch your life take off.
Ahmad, you telling me all of this, what you're doing, you have professional persons who are coming in who've been experienced, who've experienced what you've been saying. You alone are professional. I mean, just your time, okay, is worth and is valuable. You mean to tell me this thing that you're having, it's free?
Absolutely free. I don't need $1. I'm taking on no collection, Trish. I don't need no money from you.
No love offering?
You can leave your purse in your bedroom. Leave your money home. Don't bring no card. Don't bring no offering. This is just for you. This is a labor of love from my company, Trish, because first of all, it's an assignment from God. Yes. God said to me about 4 weeks ago, I'm pulling this conference together, Trish, with literally less than a month lead time.
Wow.
The Holy Spirit said to me on November, I want to say like December 2nd or 3rd, somewhere there. Son, we got to continue to shift. I said, okay, Daddy, what to do? I need you to have a conference about job readiness, professional development. He gave me the topics, Trish. He gave me the people who to call, the venue, everything. Wow. And so right now, if you miss this conference, you miss God. And that's on you. I can't get you on God business, but I can tell you one thing. He told me not to charge the people because what they have to get, they need to be accessible to.
Woo! Listen, and listen, honestly, last week I had somebody who called me who was they have a job, all right, but they called me because they're asking me about what I do here at the Guardian because they didn't want to stay at where they are.
Wow.
Because what they were doing, like they were promised something and then the persons pulled back on it. You know, they were actually at a point where they say, you know what, I just need to quit. I had to speak to them to say, listen, hey, you can't just quit and
can't leave nothing and go.
Exactly. You have to know where you're going. You're going to have to have a plan, a transition plan, something, you know, and I need to tell her, look, you need to be at this event. When is this event again?
It's Saturday, January 21st, 2023. Persons that want to attend must register.
You have to register.
And you can't just show up because you won't be allowed in.
No.
The venue has been very gracious to us, but they've also been very strict with us. 250 people maximum in attendance, and you must be on a list at the door. If you're not on that list, you can't get inside.
Okay, so tell me briefly.
So all you got to do is go to mytalentmatters.com. That's www.mytalentmatters.com. And that's the name of my website because your talent does matter. Who you are does matter. So it's mytalentmatters.com. You click on the shift and the focus tab, and voila, you register. Name, phone number, email address, that kind of stuff, and show up on January 21st ready to shift into focus.
Okay, I love it, Ahmad. I love the fact that what you're doing is just wonderful. But can you just briefly tell us where is the Fox Hill Community Center for those who may not know?
Absolutely. So when you're driving down Burnett Road, you get to that big tree in the middle of the roundabout there by
Right.
Forkville.
Mm-hmm.
You take a left at that fork in the road, and you're gonna see the fourth building on the right hand side. It's a big, beautiful blue building. You cannot miss it. It's right after the Church of God of Prophecy on the right hand side of the street.
Awesome.
You won't be
Awesome.
able.
Thank
We're
you.
also gonna have signs out front that let you know where you are, that you're in the right place. We will begin promptly at 9 a.m. We ain't starting late. We ain't ending early. So come on time. Bait off from the night before. You got to bait off. I need to go from the night before. Don't be late and don't miss it.
Don't miss it. This
Do
is
not miss it.
powerful. So what about persons who just want the information? Like they're okay
So
with where they are, but they want to know more just in case.
yeah, so we will be. Our aim is to record the session, and make it available thereafter. We're still working those details out. So right now, if you want this information, you got to be present. But we are understanding that somebody may not be able to make it.
Right.
Somebody may realize I missed this whole thing. I want to see it. So we're working. My team and I are working to get it recorded and be able to present it to the audience thereafter in a formal way. So we're working on those details, and we'll have more information for that once the conference is aired and done.
You're doing a good job. I mean,
Thank you so much.
like all I could say, because all you're doing is being obedient. So
That's it.
you're
It's
not gonna
literally
get
obedience.
you're not gonna get the credit. However, the fact that you're doing it in obedience, only God can reward you the way that you ought to be
And
rewarded.
Trish, this event is to give God glory for what He's doing in this earth. I want people to
Wow.
understand that this shift is a serious thing. And my topic is actually don't miss the shift.
Mm.
Because to have missed this right now, not just this conference, but just the shift in general, the way God is changing this earth. If you miss this now, you're in trouble for the rest of your generation, and that's something you don't want to be a part of. You need to be in
Please.
control of your destiny by following God's word. And if He is calling you to be at this conference, because you never know what you're going to find there. And you never know who needs to see you to see themselves there at that conference as well. So please, if it's pulling on you to come out, please come out. And Krish, even though this is going to be a free conference, I want people to understand this is excellence personified. I don't do foolishness, and I'm representing the kingdom of God. So we need to do this legit.
I know. Someone just said, proud of you, Ahmad, always producing excellence.
Lucretia!
Hey!
Lucretia, good to hear from you. So good to
Thank
see
you so
Lucretia.
much,
Thank you so
Ahmad.
much.
Once again, can you share where they can go to register?
Yes, this is January 20. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, mytalentmatters.com. That's www.mytalentmatters.com. Click on the Shift into Focus tab. Register. All we need is your phone number, your email address, your first and last name, and bam, you're in.
You're in. I love it.
Yes.
Thank you. God bless you. Thanks
God
for
bless
sharing.
you too, Trish. Thank you so much
I'm
for
going to
having me
get your
on. I
flyer
appreciate you.
and place it on my platforms as well. And for
Thank you so
those who
much.
may see it there, please share it on your platforms
Yes,
also.
yes, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Ahmad.
God
Thanks
bless
for
you
what you're
guys. Thank
doing.
you so much.
God
Have a
bless
good
you.
evening. Take care.
Woo! Yeah. I love it. I love it. Listen, this show was awesome today. I truly, truly, truly enjoyed all of the nuggets, all of the inspiration, everything that has been done throughout this day. I'm grateful. Now, this is my talk to the audience moment. This is going to be as brief as possible. And the first thing I want to say is, well, the question that I want to ask is, what is that one thing that hindered your progress for you in 2022? I want you to find the opposite of that word. The English language call it the antonym. Find the opposite of that word and write it down. So if it's distraction, you're going to write down focus, whatever you may have, lack of self-control or whatever have you. So you're going to write down discipline. Whatever that word is, all words, because there may be more than one, I want you to write it down, and I want you to stick it everywhere that you possibly can. For those who may have issues with weight loss and self-control and discipline with eating snacks and late in the night or whatever, you stick it on the refrigerator. Write it on the last mirror you look at before leaving the house. Place it on your desktop. Whenever you see it, say the word out loud. I promise you that is going to be a change for you. That's going to be something that is going to change you and help get you closer to that goal that you said that you wish to accomplish this year. My second point is, how are you going to get there? And Coach Ricardo said this already. Research and connect yourself with people who have already accomplished where you want to go. These persons may already have the businesses. They may have been already doing the seminars. They already have the events. They have the live recordings. They may have written books or whatever. Have you connect? And if needed, invest. All right. Try as much as you can to find out what they're doing. Go on their social platforms and see what webinar or events that may be happening and try to connect yourself with that and see what they're doing so that you'll be able to say, okay, well, this is how they do it. Maybe I can formulate or find a way to get closer to my goal by seeing what it is that they have done. Take control of your mind. Whenever a negative thought comes, trampling and trickling inside your mind, pull them down. Speak the opposite of what it is saying. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I will be the first in my family to achieve this. No, I will not be a failure because failure is not an option for me. The enemy will try to plant seeds of doubt. Your job is to uproot them. Find an accountability partner. Certain parts of life were not meant for you to journey alone. You need someone to tell you that you can do it and speak life into you. You need someone to tell you to put that greasy food down. That chicken in the bag needs to go. Don't eat that today. Don't buy that today. All right? No need for dessert. Someone who is not afraid to tell you the truth. If you have someone like that, that's golden. Put them to work this year because you are going to get there with them by your side. Especially if you're tuning into the show, I can tell you we're going to make sure that we have you accountable, or we're going to be accountable to you, that we're going to have topics and we're going to have professionals and persons that are pushing you and keeping you and motivating you along the way. So like as Ahmad said, if you don't go ahead and accept what is being taken and actually applying them, that's on you. That's not on us. All right. If you get left behind, once again, that's what you want to do. Sometimes you may not have anyone to encourage you and be accountable. In that case, encourage yourself. David did it. You can do it, Trish. That a girl. Go ahead. Woo, woo, woo. No, Trish, don't eat that today. No, Trish, turn that movie off and go finish writing that book. No, Trish, you don't need to say this. You don't speak life, Trish. Speak life. This might be the year you will be talking to yourself if you haven't spoken to yourself already, because I've been doing that. You ain't cuckoo. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Nothing going on in your head. You're just trying to get there. You're trying to get there. And sometimes it requires you speaking to yourself, encouraging yourself, motivating yourself. And sometimes it has to be done, obviously, audibly, so that you can hear yourself say, hey, don't do this. Yes, you can do it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. If they don't want to go with you, those accountability partners, understand that you still have to keep pushing. Don't stop because someone didn't believe in you. Don't stop because you thought what would have been your number one fan is too busy living their own lives or doing their own thing. So the person who you thought would have been there pushing you is just doing something else. You have to keep on going no matter what. Don't stop because of excuses. Keep your eyes on the goal and stay at it. Some started with you, and because your progress is more than they could have handled, they started distancing themselves. That's okay. Let them go. Listen to me. May the Lord bless me and you while we are absent one from another. Okay? You got to do what you got to do because you have a goal. You have a focus. You need to get there. There is an altitude that you are going at in this season, in this year, that some people can't go anyway. They're gonna start with you, and then the next thing you know, they're dropping down like flies. Why? Some of these, I don't mean to say it like this, but you have some junglist friends who can't go with you to the meeting. You have some junglist friends who can't go with you to the ball or to the staff ball or the staff event. Some people who you used to talk to can't have a sensible conversation with you. Why? Because you've elevated. Your mind has now been expanded. You have now been reading more books than usual. So your speech is different. All right. The way that you speak, the way that you see things are different. And don't get mad or don't be offended if they say to you, oh, well, she changing. She must change. Yes, I have changed. Okay. Yes, I have. My mind is elevated. Okay. If you're not pompous with it, now you're still humble, mind you, but it's just that you've elevated. Your speech is different. Your vocabulary is different. You're reading now. You're more encouraged. You're speaking life now. So you're not hanging around with Debbie Downers anymore. You're not hanging around with the negative thinking people anymore. The ones who tell you, child, I know if you could do that because I see somebody else doing that and you may not be like them. You ain't hanging around them. No. Let them go. This is not the year for those type of people. Some people will get it and some people won't. You might get wary. I ain't gonna lie. You might get hurt during the process. You may even get a little bit distracted. You might fall and bruise your knee a couple times, but keep going, keep pushing, stay focused. You are going to get there. If you need coaching or if you need to know how to get from where you are to where you're going, go ahead. I am inviting you to log on to my website, www.yourlanelifecoaching.com. Allow me to help you to get there. Allow me to help hold your hand and be accountable to you as you go through your journey, as you go through your goals, as you go through your steps into 2023. I am here. I'm a listening ear. And you have my full support. www.yourlanelifecoaching.com. Today's show was brought to you by Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John Shoe Store and Accessories, Family Medicine Center, and Your Lane Life Coaching. What's happening next week? Next week, we're talking about the spiritual implications of fibroids. Oh my goodness. This show will dissect the spiritual reasons for miscarriage, the spiritual reasons for constant bleeding, why it's a fight to be sexually intimate with your spouse, and the reasons why some doctors can't give you answers to what's going on with your body. They prescribe meds and it would work for a short while and then the symptoms would return. What is going on? And guess who we're going to have as our topic? Tony, you know? Who's going to be the person who's speaking, the guest? No? None other than Pastor Kevin L.A. Ewing, Tony boy. This is Tony's boy. Yes, we're going to need 2 hours. I'm asking you in advance. We're going to need 2 hours for next week. Ladies, you don't want to miss this. Thanks to my wonderful producer, Tony. Thanks to my Facebook audience, those who've been listening from the beginning to now. I am grateful for you. God bless you. To my first-time listeners, thank you so much. I pray that you were all empowered, all educated and encouraged today. I hope you are just as excited as I am for the plans that God has for Your Lane Talk Show this year, because it's going to be phenomenal. God bless you and have a beautiful Sunday. You are going to get there.
We got beats next week.
It's still on, right? It's still on. Bye to my Facebook audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. God bless you. Happy Sunday.